remember last month, they asked the mayors, would they be willing to open up the meeting with a prayer? And some of the answers were a little bit different from others. Some agreed that the council meeting should open with a prayer, and some thought they should not. What's your opinions?
Further down.
I believe that when you open up any meeting with people with a prayer, you're welcoming discernment and a grace upon everybody as brothers and sisters in equality. It settles the spirit and the soul, and it brings honesty to the table. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I think one of our greatest counselors was Jesus Christ himself. So I think that in praying and bringing that to the table, it's what our country was built on. I don't see anything wrong with welcoming that to our meetings.
I as well. We pray at my house before every meal. I'm a member of Pipefitters Union. I'm a member of Franklin County Labor Club. We pray before each meeting, before we hold our meetings, so I would not be opposed as a prayer. It brings people together, and it gives a little silence before the storm. A lot of these meetings, anyway. So.
They got a saying at work, triggering, where you honor God in all that you do, and I truly believe that is a very important thing to do. So prayer is something I'm pro for.
Absolutely. I think the prayer should be first, and I think the Pledge of Allegiance should be second, and then go on from there.
Well, I'm going to be the first one that says I do not. And the reason why not, because I'm against religion or anything, but we're doing the people's business right now, and part of doing the people's business is respecting all their values. Separation of church and state. I mean, not all people are religious.
It's not written in the Constitution. There's nothing in the Constitution about separating church and states.
And you know what?
But they founded this country on God.
And that's fine. But you know what? You can also start debating too by saying the Pledge of Allegiance to that flag. There's a place for that, and that's in church. There's a place to do the city's business, and that's in City Hall. So I do not agree with opening the meeting with a prayer.
Well, I know I'm not voting for you.
You on Ward 4?
There was a letter to the editor in this week's paper from St. Clair, I think, and they do that, and I don't think that has ever been brought up that I know of, but I certainly wouldn't have a problem with it. Where I have a problem is I work one day a week in a high school in Rockwood, and when they do the Pledge of Allegiance, the kids that do not get to their feet. And I went over to some kid and I said, get to your feet and she said, I have a choice. I said, you don't have to open your mouth, but you get on your feet. And I talked to the ROTC guy and I said, what can I do other than shoot these children? And he said, well, violence is not a good answer. But, so I have no problem with that, but I think it should be a decision of the entire council to make. I wouldn't want to be the one to make that decision, but I certainly wouldn't have a problem with it. And I'm very strongly leaning. The Pledge of Allegiance is so important, and it upsets me when these children are not.